Hey, what is up? We are looking at the Object 752 Tier 9 heavy tank, and a little bit told me that this might be entering into the game pretty soon, because we've seen this tank out on the live server being tested by the super testers, so there is a good chance that this thing will be coming out really soon with the new update. And for you guys who don't know what's special about this tank, it is an auto loader with 3 rounds doing 390 alpha for a total of 1800 damage over 6.5 seconds, I suppose. So this thing is pretty interesting. And now this tank has been around for a long time, since 2019 if I'm not mistaken, and there's been a lot of anticipation for this tank. A lot of people waiting around for it, including me. I think it's a pretty interesting looking tank. It's got an oscillating turret, which basically means the gun is kind of stuck to the top of the tank, and it oscillates like a French auto loading tank. You know the way it works. It's doesn't have a mantlet. In fact, the mantlet part is replaced by kind of like a very thick shield that holds the gun up. So very interesting design. And the good thing about this tank is, of course, the what do you call that? The turret armor, 330 frontally. This makes it almost impenetrable to most tanks at tier 9 and tier 8. But of course, fighting with a tier 10 tank, it might be a little bit different. This tank has got a lot of armor frontally, which is why it's a heavy tank. It's going to be slow moving. It's going to have really bad aim, but this is going to be like a breakthrough tank. You're going to be out in the front using the armor. You're going to be in the face of your enemies, and you're going to use your gun to shoot your enemies, basically in a really close fight. And because of that, that's why you're going to get poor dispersions, which is 0.40. Aim time is pretty bad as well, 3.26 seconds of aim time. But you're gonna have a 3-round autoloader, and the intra clip is like 3.2 seconds, which means you can unload your 3 shots in 6.5 seconds, over 1800 alpha damage in 6.5 seconds. That's pretty good. And yeah, you don't need a lot of accuracy if you are face hugging, if you are face to face, if you are fighting in close quarters. The full reload time for the gun is 32 seconds, so you unload in 6.5 seconds, and then you need to get into a safe position for 32 seconds for your full reload before you can insert yourself into a fighting competitive position once again. Now, one of the interesting parts about this tank is your bloom. After firing bloom, your moving dispersions is 0.26, which is pretty bad. but your after firing bloom is 3. Now if you consider that your after firing dispersions isn't too bad compared to an Emil 2, for example, with something like, I think that is 3.5 after firing penalty, and your Char Future 4 is something like 4 after firing penalty. And the only other tank that has the same kind of after firing penalty is the IS-3 version 2. So you can picture yourself having a gun performance or gun reliability like an IS-3 version 2, because you're going to be unloading your shells fairly quickly in 3.2 seconds, in 6.5 seconds, firing all 3 shots. The after firing penalty is not that bad at all. It is similar to an IS-3 version 2. So expect to be playing in the front lines, expect to be being up close, not being a medium tank sniper or shooting from a distance. You have to be basically out in the front, clip out your enemies in 6.5 seconds, get into a safe position, reload for 32 seconds, and then stick your head out and unload in 6.5 seconds, rinse and repeat. This is very much a frontline tank, being aggressive, using the frontal armor, using the turret armor to protect yourself, and yeah, this is what you can expect from the Object 752. And the reason why I'm bringing up the Object 752 today is because there is a huge possibility that this tank will be released in the next patch update, and that's because there's a lot of people that's seen this tank being tested out on the live server. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.